6:38 p.m. and Daryl said he might show up. Do we have a roll call?
Just for my own, myself and reporters, so then, he's not to get something. So the date today is
25th.
January 25th, 2016.
Locke Foundation meeting. Detrimental.
Jay Correa, Clarence Chu,
Dustin Moore.
Eileen Leo.
Stuart Walthall.
Brock Alexander.
Honey Love.
We have a quorum.
And what time is it?
6:48.
6:30.
Okay, first item on our agenda. Oh, want to welcome back Wayne Miller. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, approval of the November 2015 board meeting minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look at it and make any comments? Uh-huh.
Come on in here, Daryl.
I took his face and my food.
I'll note for the minutes that Director Wu has arrived, just arrived at 6:40 p.m. And we're looking at the approval of the minutes. I'd like to move to approve the minutes.
Motion has been made to approve and second the minutes. There's any discussion? If not, take a vote. All those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay.
Clarence,
Clarence
abstain.
abstain. Thank you. Now we have the treasurer's report.
As of today, January 25th, the Locke Foundation bank account balance is $44,602.81. You have a treasurer's report. Right under today's agenda. Look.
I also wanted to report that at the last day of 2015, December 31st, our balance was $46,000. And by next meeting, I will give you a final report on the centennial event, income and activities and breakdown of expenses.
Stuart, could you repeat? It's 44,602.
44,602.81.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the treasurer's report, which shows that the balance for the Locke Foundation checking account as of today, January 25th, is $44,602.87. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passed. Okay. Moving to communications, California State Report. When do you have any?
No, nothing.
Yes, comments. One of the things that my absence has brought up is the fact that I can't carry the operations manual around inside my head. So, Eileen and I emailed back and forth, and we managed to resolve a number of the issues that came up. But one of the things I need to do in the next 60 days is construct an operations manual for the Locke Foundation, which details things like when the sales tax reports are due, when we file different reports with the state, that sort of thing. It also, I can lay out ways to do different things that would be of help to anybody that steps into this position. As far as myself personally, the surgery was a success. There are some complications which are being treated medically. If they're successful, I should be as near normal as I normally get in another 60 days. If not, it could involve my having to withdraw from the position because I'll be out for an extended period of time. But we'll have plenty of notice on that, which is another reason I need to do the operations manual, because I've been here going on 4 years, and there's things that have developed over this time period that weren't there whenever I took over from Shirley. And so, since I'm the only one walking around with the experience of doing this stuff, that needs to be monumented with an operations manual. Aside from that,
Do you foresee this being like a whole binder full of stuff, or could this be, you think you can get it on a
No.
number of pages?
I hate paperwork, so we're going to be lucky if it's a page and a half.
That's what I wanted to know.
Oh,
Thank
That'd be
you.
great.
Thank you, thank you. All right, old business. Item, concession contract. Are we
Okay, let's see again.
in or out?
Okay, where we're at with the concession contract is we submitted the initial phase to them. They have come back to us with requests for additional documentation and an expanded explanation of things like how we plan to improve the boarding house. Now, I strongly object to the state's attitude. When they decided to buy this building, they did none of this documentation, which they should have done. When they decided to spend more than $1 million to reconstruct this building, they should have done these same reports. We operated this place for a number of years, and now that we're up for renewal, they want us to jump through all the hoops, prepare all the documents that they should have prepared, and move forward with that. My concern about the concession contract is, having read through it, if we assume all of the responsibilities that a normal concession assumes, we'd be responsible for the lights, the maintenance. The maintenance would include the sprinkler control system, the HVAC system, the plumbing, everything. I'm not at all the alarm system. That to me represents an open-ended expense. And the other problem is that once we sign a contract with them, they will have the power to demand that we open certain hours, that we have certain staff on hand, that staff be qualified in certain ways, which is fine if you're a large, heavily funded San Diego place, but we're not. And the question in my mind is, does the Locke Foundation want to take on that open-ended responsibility? Or do we tell them we'd rather just continue as we are now on a month-to-month basis, and if you get another concessionaire, give us a 60-day notice?
Would this preclude a concession contract at all?
No, but right now, their point is that all contracts have to be identical, and they want us to be identical to the others. Right now, we're under month-to-month provisions under the recently expired concessions contract. The alternative to going into the new contract, if we find out it's too expensive and we can't meet their criteria, is we give them a 60-day notice and walk away. So, but right now, we could continue forever as month to month.
Is this being handled through Goldfields, or are we talking the
Yeah,
entire?
Goldfields is handling it. Goldfields runs it, that's our initial contact. It goes from there to contracts. And contracts passes judgment on whether or not our submissions are sufficient. So it's a lot of extra work. We can get it done. I'm not sure if we're going to get it done in as timely a fashion as they would like it to be done. But at the same time, if we move forward with the concession contract, like I say, we have an option of walking away from the contract. We wouldn't be the first concessionaire to walk away. It's just that there's some damages and costs related to walking away. It's like walking away from a lease or something else. You have ending contract costs. So what we're looking at right now is we're month to month, we're stable. They're pushing us because they want a decision. To make the decision really depends on what they're going to ask us to do in the final concession contract. Because right now, we're just working our way through a proposal for a contract.
Well, I remember meeting with them, and they seemed like they wanted to work with us. Because their attitude changed, and then I also remember that issue of the lights and the other things, and the gentleman said they would cover that
Yeah,
cost.
we were working with a different group of people at that time. In the supervising ranger that was there at the time has been replaced.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at right now is we aren't dealing with the ranger staff at Goldfields. We're dealing with the contract people downtown.
Yeah,
So it's entirely, they have different criteria.
yeah, and they mentioned that the contract part would be,
Yeah.
they were gonna try to.
And we haven't
force
even
us
gotten
into
to
something.
the negotiation. What we negotiated was they would be willing to negotiate with us to get this set up. And they've gone from, we'll be willing to work with you to get this set up, to making demands that, to provide documents that they should have provided years ago.
Yeah.
So,
So what are the consequences of doing nothing at this point? Just a stalemate, obviously.
well, if we do nothing, we continue at the current annual rent, which is negligible.
Reasonable.
Continue to operate as we're going. If they decide to throw us out, they have to give us a 60-day notice. In 60 days, we'll go down the street, set up a tent at the park, and go back in business there.
Well, we did have a meeting with the new head of Goldfields here, and he actually was a lot nicer guy than I thought he was gonna be. I liked what we're doing, and we proposed some other ideas for down the road, and they were very much into it. Seems like they're, of course, not talking about bean counters here, but I got the feeling that as long as it didn't cause them too many headaches or a lot of their time and energy, that we had some latitude.
Yeah, one of the things that is obvious when talking to the Goldfields office, they don't have the staff or the money to run this place.
Yeah.
They would rather have it open than, admit to the public at large that they have a white elephant. So what we're looking at is a way over the next, I hope, 60 days to work out something that is reasonable and acceptable to all parties. But again, I'm warning you now that, this could be difficult, and it may be something when you do an assessment from a financial point of view, that we may be better off with the boarding house out from underneath the Locke Foundation. So, but it's one of those things coming, this is a valuable asset for the town of Locke and for the foundation. But at the same time, it has a finite value.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for your assessment. I have a question.
Okay?
Do you think there might be a downside in asking the state then to provide what they should have provided in the first place that they're asking us to provide now?
We've talked to them about that. All they're willing to send us are copies of things that other concessionaires have done, and a list of things that they want in the concession proposal. So they didn't even initially give us an outline. They just said, you need to do this. No real guidelines as to how to do anything. And so essentially, we found a guideline that would work. We could put together the initial proposal. Now they want more details. And they sent us an outline of the details they want. So we just have to put it together, and it's going to take time to, wordsmith it.
I have a question. What type of details are they requesting?
Well, one of the things that they wanted to know is how we're going to improve this facility. Well, how are we going to enhance accessibility? Several things which you would find in a normal state park. Operations in general. It's just one of those things where, this plan of operation should have been in place before they bought the property. How are you going to use it? What are you going to use it for? When is it going to be used? None of those questions were asked. It's just like I talked to one of the rangers that was involved in the acquisition, and they had planned to put their handicap parking up on the levee and build a bridge across from the roadway to the second floor, and that was going to be their ADA accessibility. If you look at this building, this building almost totally occupies the lot that is the state park. Whenever they put together the brochure for this building, they included the lot out here to the south. They don't own that lot. So the park has a very, very poor image of exactly what they have here. And the whole idea of building handicap parking up there on the levee with a bridge across to the second floor was how they were going to get ADA compliance. This building, this facility is not ADA compliant. There are no public ADA restrooms. There is no ADA parking. If the county hadn't gone in at least dirt from the LMA and put in a county park with bathrooms and parking, they could not have opened this building under county, federal, or state guidelines. So we're actually doing them a favor by running the damn thing.
Isn't it, can't we just keep it short in our responses to them and not in all the detail, and also go, hey, what do you want to see?
Well, that's
Throw it back at them.
well, they came back to us with a list
Yeah.
of things and how they want it done.
Yeah.
So the question is whether if we do it and we do it the way they want it, is it going to be acceptable to them? Because they've already come back to some states that are initially, they want to massage our submission. So I decided to go into the hospital right about then, so I didn't even get into it. So,
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Wayne.
Subcommittee update.
Well, there's not a whole lot of action regarding subcommittees. We're kind of in between. Membership is just dribbling in. We're hoping this 2016, we have a couple of things to hang our hats on regarding kickstarting, to have another membership drive. We're in between issues of the newsletter. Demo Garden's asleep. So, not a lot of stuff in the subcommittees, unless somebody can think of anything that I might be able to clarify with as far as the little stuff goes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to new business. First item we have is seating of the new 2016 board. Deborah, can you explain the result of the ballots that we sent to the property owners regarding those seats?
Yes, well, I did send out nomination forms on November 9th. And Wayne, I believe, let me double check, the forms should have gone back to the post office of the Locke Foundation. And we only, yeah, so I don't usually pick up that mail, Wayne does, but as far as I know, just myself and Rob Alexander volunteered. I'm correct.
we had additional nominations. Terrence was nominated, and he's already on the board. Dustin was nominated, he's already on the board.
Right, their seats are not expiring, but my seat and Brock's seat were expiring, and there was additionally, Actually, it was only Brock's seat that was expiring, and so he did accept the nomination. And no one else, other than myself and Brock, accepted any nominations. So we will still have a vacant residential seat at this point, in spite of the fact that Brock and I have accepted the nomination. So ballots were not sent out because we had no nominees to
So there
compete
were
in an election.
3 vacancies for the Locke Foundation board, and we received nominations for 2 individuals. And so because we did not receive more nominations and seats open, and those 2 individuals were asked if they would accept taking those seats. And those 2 seats were Brock and Deborah.
Exactly, very well.
Thank you. Any other discussion among the board members that out of the 3 seats that were vacant, we have 2?
What were the 3 seats that were vacant?
Well, my term was coming out as a residential seat, and we've had a standing empty vacant seat that is technically expiring next year. So if we did, for residential, so if we did get a volunteer for a residential seat, we could fill that.
So 2 residential seats and 1 commercial were vacant, and we've been able to fill 1 commercial and 1 residential now. And these members.
Exactly.
So Brock is the commercial and you are the residential.
And you are the other residential seat. That's
But
still
his
not.
term
is not up.
Your term's not up.
Right.
We just want to make sure this is all clear.
Right, so currently with Brock's agreeing to accept his nomination, all commercial seats are filled. Clarence Chu, Dustin Marr, and Brock Alexander. And with me accepting my nomination, we have 2 residential seats filled, my seat, Stewart's seat, and we still have a residential seat vacant that is due to expire in 2016. So there's only 1 year left for that term.
So out of 6 seats available to Locke property owners, 5 of them now are filled. Are
Exactly.
there any questions for that?
Right.
Yes, Ash, would you like to step to the podium?
If I must. Your board has not sent out electoral ballots to the property owners, as is mandated in your bylaws for the 6 property owner seats since December of 2009. So we would like to know at what meeting since 2009 you've restructured the rules of your bylaws to say that you don't have to send us out electoral ballots for the property owner seats. Thank you.
I believe there are more nominations.
Yeah, I think we're already covered.
Okay.
We've been over.
Then we send out ballots, but we don't need to.
You don't need to send out electoral ballots anymore? So you've changed the rules of the bylaws?
We don't need to answer it.
This is for public comments.
Okay, thank you for your comment.
Second half of that is elected officers.
Yeah, so we have 8 board
Crony
members
appointed.
here. We will elect officers as customary at the first meeting of the year. So first on the list would be the chair of the 2016 board. Are there any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Walpole, if he's interested.
Second.
I accept.
Nope. Go ahead.
Jay, did you want to be chairman?
Not at all.
Is there anyone else?
I'd like to nominate
Would like to-
you to be a chair.
Thank you, but I respectfully decline.
Are there any other nominations for that position?
nominations. Vote. The nominations are closed. All those in favor of
Public comment, please?
Stuart as chair? Okay. Opposed? Abstained?
Brown Act violation?
Okay. Now, Mr. Walsall, preside over the meeting, and like the rest of the officers.
Oh, I think you should.
Are we gonna do it all at once again? Remember how we did that all of them at the same time?
Yeah, we have done that, right, Darryl?
You mean at the single slate?
We've done the
Yeah.
slate all at once. Would you
Can we
mind
do it
presiding over
individually or
who do
I-
that?
I said we do a single slate and we can open it for public comments before we
Open the slate to public comments?
make our motion like we always do.
Okay. For a slate, okay.
For a slate.
Let's move. So for chair, we have nominated Stuart Walthall. Vice chair, do I hear any nomination?
Eileen.
I'll second that.
I nominate Honey Lum.
So do you decline your nomination?
I
for-
decline.
Okay.
We're not losing it here.
I'll second.
I'll guarantee you that.
I'll second, honey. Anybody else want to be?
Motion to nominate and second Honey Lum for vice chair.
Okay, then we move to the next.
Secretary.
I nominate Deborah Mendel.
I second.
All right, that was done.
Okay, next.
I'll accept the nomination.
Treasurer.
I'll nominate Clarence.
I'll second.
Do you accept Clarence?
Yep.
Right, that's the slate.
Anybody else?
They are presently self-electing and crony appointing their officers once again.
Sorry, who
I
was
just
nominated, Clarence?
I did.
asked them about why haven't they sent out electoral ballots to us since 2009? They couldn't have answer. They said they don't have to.
As of now is Stuart for chair,
So they
Honey for vice
changed
chair,
their
Deborah for
bylaws.
secretary, and Clarence for treasurer.
Without any board actions or
On that?
approvals.
Take a public comment.
Excuse me, who was that Lexus right here that is blocking the driveway?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that, meeting in.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get out.
You
Come in.
just
Now we're not
say till
moving.
our meeting's over.
So, we need to vote?
Well, we're gonna take public comments before we
Is
vote.
it normal to take public comments in
Yeah,
an
before
election?
Yeah, well,
All
yeah,
right.
no.
You don't have to, but you should.
We don't know.
Public comments?
My public comment is to reiterate that 6 of the board members here, or 6 of the board seats here, are supposed to be, the wording in your bylaws says that the property owners of the town of Locke shall be sent electoral ballots, not nomination forms, electoral ballots for the 6 property owning seats every December, the ones who expire on that.
Have you received the nomination form?
I received a nomination form. I did not receive an electoral ballot, nor have any of the property owners I've spoken to.
Did you return the nomination form?
I did not.
Okay, this is a Q&A, and she's not talking about the agenda item.
Yes, I
Right now,
am.
it is
Yes, I am.
election of these
Appointment of
members.
officers.
I believe I still have another minute of my public comment
Please keep on.
regarding the election of officers. If you are going to elect officers tonight by your board, the people who are electing your officers, many of them are self-elected. And you've got illegal board members sitting here. You have not sent the electoral ballots as required in your bylaws